to this profession called architecture. Today we have a few dignitaries amongst us. Our chief guest for the day, Architect C.R. Rajgaru. He is the National President, Indian Institute of Architects. May I request you to please come onto the dais, sir? Dr. Professor Kavita Davyani Rao, Vice Chancellor, JNFAU. I think ma'am is yet to arrive. Architect Bhanu Prasad Rao, MLC Karimnagar, I think he's shortly arriving. Architect Padmavati Reddy Garu, ex-MLA Kodada. Ma'am, may we have you on the dais, please? Architect Muralidhar Reddy Garu, National Council member. Architect Uday Shankar Dhoni, Chairman, IIT Telangana Chapter. Architect Sridhar, Convener for NATCON. And Mr. Sunil Saraf, Chairman, Raga TLT. As we all know, before we start anything auspicious, we invoke the prayer. And while we light the lamp, can we have all the dignitaries to please kindly proceed for the lighting of the lamp? Request Architect Muralidhar Reddy Garu to please come onto the dais. Architect Sridhar, Convener NATCON, to please come onto the dais. Thank you so much, gentlemen. This evening is really special. This, apart from a networking meeting, this is also a curtain raiser for NATCON 2021. Indian Institute of Architects conducts the national conference every year in one of the cities of India for the past several decades. As we all know, that IIE is 105 years old and IIE Telangana Chapter is 8 years old. There are about 22 state chapters out of 29 states in India. Thus, the number of delegates who attend, I think we expect around 1,000 members. This time, it's definitely a proud privilege for IIE Telangana Chapter, since we will be hosting the NATCON at Hyderabad on the 14th, 15th, 16th of May 2022 at Hotel Novotel, Madhapur. We will have international and national speakers come in, showcase their projects, showcase their work. We will have an August gathering and also several companies dealing with building materials who would be showcasing their products here. It would definitely be an interesting conclave wherein we will have an opportunity to meet people from the industry. We will come to know what are the new developments happening in the construction industry, the new materials that are going to come up, and also we will have a sneak peek into what kind of projects and new works that are being done across the globe. It's also a great opportunity for the students, practicing architects, academia, government officials, allied professionals, and many others to be present at the NATCON. And since this is a curtain raiser, we request that IIE Telangana Chapter members enroll in large numbers and participate in large numbers since we are hosting this. And let's wish all the very best to the team who is going to host this NATCON 2021, the conveners and the co-conveners. Thank you so much. I request Dr. Architect Kavita Daryani Rao, Vice Chancellor, JNFAU, onto the dais, please. Also request Architect Bhanu Prasad Rao, LLC Karimnagar, onto the dais, please. Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you, sir. As we all know, the committee of any particular organization works really hard to get us very good programs in form of knowledge transfer, in form of networking, and also different opportunities that we have in our particular profession. And the committee, which is working so hard for IIE Telangana Chapter, they've been trying to do a lot of online meetings, a lot of online web series so that there is knowledge transfer happening. We have got eminent personalities who will be presenting their works together. And of course, when all such good work is done, don't you think we should showcase all the good work that we do throughout the year? For this, I would call upon Architect Aditya Singaraju, the Secretary, Honorary Secretary for IIE Telangana Chapter, to please present the report. Aditya Singaraju is a graduate from JNFAU. He's done his Masters in Product Design. He's teaching the Department of Architecture JNFAU for the last 22 years and also been practicing in his firm Identify. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
It is my honor and duty to report to the members the list of important activities that we have conducted over the past 18 months. The newly elected body of members took charge of the offices officially in the first general body meeting, which was held on 20th January 2021. Chairman Architect Uday Shankar, in his chairman's address, shared his vision and action plan for the tenure. Various committees were formed to coordinate and facilitate the execution of the action plan laid out under the categories of professional affairs, education, communication and media, events, sports and culturals, national and international affairs. Members of the various committees took active interest in planning and conduct of events under their respective committees. In the ensuing weeks, a roadmap was prepared for a series of events and webinars that would spread out evenly along the year. First in the sequence was the Heritage Walk, curated by our member architect Srinivas Murthy at the Qutub Shahi Tombs on the 30th of March. Besides being an educational walk, the event helped in bonding amongst the members for the first time after we all took charge to our offices. Keeping in mind the incessant efforts taken by fellow architects in discharging their professional obligations, even to the extent of getting exposed to the pandemic evils, the chapter took upon itself to organize a vaccination drive. The vaccination drive was organized in association with the Jawaharlal Nehru Architecture and Fine Arts University in its campus for the benefit of all architects and their family members, students and staff members. To commemorate the World Heritage Day 2021, your chapter organized an online webinar wherein architect Vinod Ganesh was in conversation with eminent conservation architects in Hyderabad. Architect Surya Narayana Murthy, Gullapalli Surya Narayana Murthy, spoke on Kakatiya cultural landscape, architect Madhu Voteri on architectural heritage of Hyderabad. This webinar was attended by a good number of audience spread across various age groups, including school children. As part of the flagship event Chai Pe Charcha of Indian Institute of Architects Telangana Chapter, architect Kuldeep Singh moderated a webinar program titled Stand with Built Environment on the 30th of July. In this webinar, there was discussion amongst local architects on the proposed GO 103, which was focused on the podium parking rules and regulations framed by the government. Following it was another talk by architect Jeet Kumar Gupta titled Tale of Two Plans, Lessons from the Chandigarh. Following which there was an educational talk by Dr. Ashok Kumar from CBII on the CSIR guidelines on ventilation of buildings and solutions for the pandemic scenario. Architect Srinivas Murthy further, in following weeks, curated yet another series of webinar titled Conservation at Crossroads, in which many eminent experts from the field of conservation and history participated. Architect Vikas Delwari, architect Sajjad Shahid, architect Faiz Khan, our own member architect Shankar Narayan were all part of this event. This event was organized on 27th of August in 2021. And since then, we are now very actively and intensely planning for the NATCON 21. And we are all looking forward for this most awaited moment to celebrate the NATCON 21 in a grand way, under the leadership of our chairman, architect Uday Shankar, and the directions laid by our convener, architect Sridhar Gopisetti, and the co-conveners, architect Asha and architect Kuldeep Singh. And of course, with the support of all our dear members. Thank you very much. I end this report.
My shoe exit was now. Huh?
Thank you, Aditya. Now may I request our Honorary Chairman, Architect Uday Shankar, to kindly address the gathering. Architect Uday Shankar. Passed his BS in the year 1971 to 76 from Bangalore University. He started his firm Shankar Consultants in the year 1979, and he's won the Best Architect Award for the institution building in the year 2004, and he has a lot of accolades to his credit. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Our chief guest for the evening, IA President C.R. Rajgaru. Guests of honor for today's evening, Dr. N. Kavita Radiani Ram, Architect Banu Prasad Rao Garu, MSc Karimnagar, Architect Padmavati Reddy Garu, SMLE, and welcome Architect Muralidhar Reddy, National Council Member, and our anchor sponsor Sunil Sarat sir, welcome to our from Radha TMT, and my dear fellow architects, friends, and well-wishers. Today it really feels very strange that so many of us in a hall like this meeting after 2 years of COVID restrictions is extraordinarily different feeling. And moreover today, after almost about a year of taking over as the chairman, and most of the activities which Secretary Aditya read out, which has been almost about one activity each month.